Alleluia, alleluia. I appoint you to go and bear fruit, fruit that will last. Alleluia. The Gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ according to Matthew. When Jesus came into the district of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that the Son of Man is?" They said, "Some say John the Baptist, but others Elijah, and still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." He said to them, "But who do you say that I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." And Jesus answered him, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father in heaven. And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not prevail against it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." For the Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
I'd like to be seated. I'm just going to say a few words to look at the readings and see if we can find something in them that helps us in our day-to-day life. In the Gospel reading we just had, there is a play on words. You know, it's, in English it's called a pun. That means you say one thing and it can mean another thing. And Jesus says to Peter, "You are Peter." In Greek that is Petros. And the word for rock in Greek is Petra. So he makes this little pun. "You are Petros, and on this Petra I will build my church." I was thinking about this. When you're a seafarer, the last thing you want to see is a rock, isn't it? Isn't that right? Especially up close in the middle of the night. But Jesus says to Peter, "You are a rock. You are a stone, and on this rock I'll build my church. And the gates of Hades, or the underworld, won't be able to overcome this church." I don't know whether you know, but in Rome, they say that St. Peter's Church, Basilica, is built over the place where St. Peter is buried. And so there's a real sense in which some people say, "See, there's the church." But of course the church is here, isn't it? As much as anywhere else. So here we are today, 2010, people saying, "Who is Jesus?" Just like Peter said, "You are the Christ, the Messiah." From the first reading and the psalm, I want to take this idea that can help us. I said we don't want to see a rock, we don't want to hit a rock in a ship at all, ever. But in our lives, sometimes we hit rocks, don't we? That is, things are going along, we think smooth, and then all of a sudden, boom, things are not so nice. Does that happen to you? It happens to me. What do you do when you hit a rock in your life? St. Peter, in the first reading, St. Peter is locked in prison. And we see there that the angel of the Lord comes and sets him free. When things go rough in our life, when we hit a rock in our life, the rock that isn't a good one, we cry out to God, "God, help me." Sometimes we wish an angel would come like St. Peter and set us free, make us liberated from whatever it is that is holding us back. There are some people in some circumstances for whom that happens. But mostly we have to learn like the psalmist who wrote in the psalm. We have to learn that it is by talking to God that we find our strength. In the psalm, "I sought the Lord, and he answered me and delivered me from all my fears." the rock which is the Christian church, which is Jesus and all Jesus' people. It is through Jesus' love that our fears can be overcome. St. Peter teaches us to trust Jesus always, especially when we hit a rock in life and we learn that the real rock which will not hurt us is indeed Jesus, the Son of God. The Lord be with you.